the question that I ended up always with was like, why am I here? What is my purpose?
Yeah.
I,
Our favorite questions.
I couldn't believe it. 23 years banging my head the same question again and again. And if you do what you came here to do, you will have the most amazing life. If you don't, you will just keep going struggling.
You'll keep asking the questions. Yeah. I think it's lifelong. I really resonate with that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been the main experience, like focusing on my mission, and then whenever I get distracted, pulled off or whatever, that's okay, get back into it. So
Yeah.
it was more about like with all the whole business and everything, at the end of the day, it's the coach, the person that is, they're always the one in the way. So it was me just getting myself out of the way of the message and just letting the message, just being the messenger. So my name actually means like light, bringing light. And so that's my sort of purpose, bringing light. A group of people that been consistent, that's been resonating well, like teachers, coaches, Reiki healers. According to my human design, I am like a Reiki healer, national thing, something like that. But those are the people that has been like interacting well. And when I just focused on that in the past couple of months, on those group of people that resonated towards my purpose and like that, boom.
Yeah. That's really great. I think what's your vision? I love that you're saying the light, because I've been doing a lot of light, and I have to send you a song when we finish. It's called I Am Light, and it's absolutely divine. It's really special. I will send you a link on Facebook today. But I wanted to ask you, like, what's your vision? Because I saw you had this transcendence platform. Yeah, is that what you're working on now?
Yeah, so that's been the main system, like all the past 6 years, building everything into one system. I call it the transcendent system. But it's more of a way for people to really just, at the end of the day, find the coaches, the trainers they need to help them find their purpose, and that also helps them. So instead of me actually going individually helping everybody, which I do here and there, instead of being more strategic and working with the people that are doing the work in the front line, if I help 5 people and like they're working with a few people in general in the front line, then I'm having impact on all of them, like 15, 20 people.
I see. Yeah. And what's the thing that really inspires you? Because I love that you said it, it's about this bring light, and you said something about immersion, which I wasn't so sure about. But what's the thing that drives you, because you asked those 2 questions, but what is it that really lights you up, that makes you go like, yes, this is my work?
Gaining wisdom and then giving it back. That's it.
Yeah, that's lovely.
And wisdom sometimes comes in different form, sharing knowledge, helping somebody financially with books, whatever, with the business training. So I've just really focused on specializing in one area, more towards the business model, reaching out the message, basically connecting an individual who has a problem with the right coach they need. That's really it. That's the person.
Yeah.
So
I think you've got a really good place then, haven't you, Royal? Because I imagine there's lots of people in your audience that struggle because they're such great practitioners, teachers, healers, but they don't have business skill. They don't really know how to, they're not sustainable financially. There's a story, you probably know, you come across this story of, oh, I have to be poor if I'm going to help. They don't say it like this, but there's this mentality, like, if I give these gifts, I can't really be, there's a belief that I can't be paid well for what I love to do, And I wondered if that's the type of people you find sometimes with the people that you're working with as well, that you're able to support them.
Yeah, across a lot of different types of stories, but I see the patterns, and after once you do focus on one thing, it becomes obvious. You see the connections, and the way I think my thinking is, like, it's really whole. I see the wholeness. Like, if I see things, people maybe see different dots and things, but I can.
You see the big picture, don't you? You see the whole thing. You don't just focus on one thing.
Yeah, and that's what the transformation system really is. That the blue diagram, and that's the high level. That's it, and that's something is like we customize for the individual person based on their type of coaching, business model, thing like that. So really interesting conversation. Really.
And I just think I love what you're doing, because it sounds like you're basically creating some kind of business model structure for people to be able to to just give what they came here to give, and then you can support them with like this backbone of things, which is so necessary. And it's one of the key things that I find people in those industries, they don't succeed because they don't have the skills, and they have, you know, there's lots of reasons why, but that thing is, I think it's essential, isn't it? Like you said, the business model, the structure, then the market, you know, all the things that come with it, the marketing, everything else. I mean, otherwise it's like sailing on the river and there's no boat. It's like, what are we doing? It's like, where's the boat? Hello? Oh no, you know, I'm in the water, you know. It's kind of like that. It's obvious, but it's not, you know. It makes me laugh.
This conversation is too interesting. Like there's like you talk about the river, the boat. Those are all analogies, concepts we have done before the videos. When you look at the diagram, the blue basically is the ocean and all the crocodiles and all the chaos, and like the white is the structure we provide. The red is the coach themselves. Like the middle, they join and make like two hearts. Because that was the second thing. Like I went deep and came back to the heart instead of the mind. Like, okay. And that's been the main shift as well. So really,
was that in the last year? Was that this year? Was it, or was it before?
So that was 2016. I went to a few of Tony Robbins events as well. I went one as a volunteer to see the back end. So I like to always see the front end and the back end as well. No matter what I do, I see like how it works behind the scenes and the front end. Like I wanted to see what it takes to like have 20,000 people in one room.
I worked at one of his events as well many years ago. Quite an interesting experience to see how I only went. That's the only time I've ever been is when I worked like that, like you. I was one of the people getting all the volunteers to do their thing, you know. It's very interesting.
Yeah, amazing.
And what did you take from that, Royal? What did you take from that experience?
That you can't do it on your own. You gotta find and team and leverage. You gotta delegate. No matter how controlling we feel, like the founders, the coaches, I know they are control freaks. They don't want to let go. I know them. I know their tendencies, biases. I'm just taking it step by step, reaching out, finding the right ones that I can help at the right time. Because something, if they're not ready for something and you try to give to them and it doesn't work for them.
No. I love what you do, though. I love what you're about. I love the simplicity. It resonates so strong. And my sense is there's so many of us now at this time who have really listened to the call. You know, I've been asking that question since I was a child, and I'm 42 years old now, you know, and I think I've been on such a different path of things, Royal. I mean, it's really crazy, the work I've done, the industry I've worked in so many different industries. And that was one of my things because I love variety, you know, so that's one of my values. And it was like, what am I going to be, a full-time coach? Am I going to do this? But the way I see it now is like, I was born to support people. Like I just absolutely was. I'm a middle child of 3 as well, you know, and I just feel like that is so my nature naturally. And so to be able to get paid for doing that is just a gift, really, you know. And my sense now for me is that like, it's really encouraging those clients of mine now that they're ready, they can take that step, even though they're not sure. And especially now, and especially at this time, because things are the way they are, you know, and what are we waiting? We can't wait anymore, you know, because there's never going to be the perfect conditions. There's never going to be the perfect course. It doesn't exist, you know. And so we want to get back into, like you said, the heart. And I also do a lot of work around wisdom as well. That was like, so my first course this year was called Awaken the Wisdom Within. Yeah. So I had a lot around that. And then I had one called Into the Heart. I had a day that was called Into the Heart. And then I have one working with women, which was around Discover Your Feminine Powers. So I can really resonate with what you're doing and sharing.
Amazing, amazing. Really appreciate the conversation and the things we got to discuss.
Yeah, me too.
We went a bit over time, but it was okay.
No, it's a joy to speak to you, Royal.